moment we've all been waiting for has finally arrived. This is a real intense battle raging here. He's so good. Oh, no! It's time to race in MotoGP. Wow, such a pleasure, such a privilege, what an honour to be part of this championship.
Please welcome to the stage, Carmelo Ezpeleta, CEO of Dorna Sports, for a conversation with Bloomberg's Jennifer Zabasajja.
That was a pretty great video.
Yes, it shows exactly how is MotoGP.
Yeah, and there were a lot of numbers on there. We were just talking about a big number for you and the sport. 30. This year is 30 years.
Yes, we start in 91, and the first championship was in the 1992 in Japan, in Suzuka.
Do you think the sport is better today than it was 10 years ago?
Sorry?
Is the sport better today than it was 10 years
Yes, I think so. I think so. We try to do it. We improve a lot, especially we try to improve the safety. When we started in the championship, one of the things more important was, obviously motorsports is dangerous, but we try to avoid that. We have a very close relation with the riders. We met with them every single week to try to improve that. Then that gives to us a possibility to improve. And we change a lot from the organization point of view. In the first race in Suzuka, we were 8 people, and now we are more than 500. Then really change a lot, the things from that moment.
What are you hearing from the riders about what they need change in order to feel safer?
Well, in principle, the bikes has been changed a lot since 1991 to now. And obviously, the riders are every time fastest. The bikes are fastest. Then the circuit needs to be very safe. Then when we talk with them, it's any kind of possibility we have, any proposal to make a new circuit or to improve the existing circuit is discussed with them during a meeting we have every Friday before the circuit, and with the majority of the riders of MotoGP, and then we can share with them the best possibilities to be even more safe.
And if people haven't seen, there's 2 of the bikes right outside there. We were looking at them, but you were telling me something really fascinating about distinguishing the 2 of them, and specifically about sustainability, because one of them is a Moto e-bike.
Well, yes, we are working in the sustainability. It's one of the most important issues we have right now. Then we have 2 ways to improve the sustainability and to go to the zero impact in carbon brake. One is to work with all the manufacturers and with all the oil manufacturers to make fuel more sustainable. We will go to 24 with sustainable fuel, and then we will try to, through that, what we are doing is to try to experiment and to show in front of the world that these bikes are very sustainable. We use 21 liters to make a long distance race with a lot of performance. And if we are successful, and we will be successful to working with the manufacturers and the fuel manufacturers, this is something we can pass to the majority of the people who is using 2 wheels bike, who is the most sustainable transport for many people. Then for us it's a challenge to try to have for the Southern Asia, for South America, for many reasons, to have a sustainable fuel to permit to continue using this bike with 0 impact in carbon brake. And at the same time, we are working hard with a 100% electric bike to be also second experience. And we are working in both sides, one in the fuel to be 100% sustainable, and in the electric bike.
So you don't plan to go fully electric then with MotoGP? Yes.
Yes, well, I have been since 1991 in all the races, and I think it's very important to have the temperature every time to know exactly what is necessary. We work very hard together with the manufacturer and the circuit promoters. We know that every time needs to improve to give to the fans and the people, the spectators, as much fun we can, and looking to change the way. The races are always the same, but then the evolution of the entertainment is very important, and we try to do that with our promoters. We have 21 promoters and many others waiting to be promoting also a race. Then we have a maximum of 22 races per season right now, and then we are working with different states and nations to have a race in a safe circuit. And in the other side, we are working very hard with the manufacturers to try to improve the bikes under the line of sustainability and also the economical impact in the cities and in the places we are.
What is next in terms of cities? I mean, you mentioned cities. Where are you looking to expand the sport and grow the sport more?
Clearly in South America and in Southern Asia. We have not any race circuit in Africa, but in the future this is a possibility. We cannot. One of the things is we cannot race for safety reasons. We cannot race in not permanent circuits. That means we cannot use street circuits because the safety measures is difficult to have. Requirement we have from our safety commission. But clearly our goal is South America and Southern Asia.
So any particular cities or countries you're looking at?
Well, it's until we don't have the contract with USA, but there's countries as Brazil or India are interested, and we are talking with them.
So let's talk about the growth potential, and specifically, I have to ask you about Formula One, because that is something that has grown exponentially in the US and globally. You used to work in Formula One. Do you see that sport as a competitor? Is it friendly competition, or where does MotoGP position itself in comparison?
Well, we think we are complementary. That means I know very well Formula One. I have been also director of a circuit who promotes Formula One. I was in close contact, and in fact, he was with us in the beginning of our business with Bernie, and we work close in many things. There are many differences. In principle, I think we are more spectacular, but they are the incredible power of the car manufacturers, which is not comparison with the bike manufacturers. Then we are working together. In principle, the main issue we have together is the calendar. You know, we are 21 races, they have 23, and we are both starting in March and finishing in November. Then to collaborate in the creation, because many of the broadcasts are the same, then we are working in that. But in general, the relationship has been fantastic with Bernie, and also right now with Stefano Domenicali. It's our friend since many years ago.
So you don't see it as a threat?
We work very close with them.
So it's not considered a threat to the growth of MotoGP?
Well, we think it's, we are complementary. Then Formula One has many things who could be important for us, and we have some of them who are important for them. But in principle, I repeat, we have been living all these 30 years together, working together. Sometimes it's up and down. We are better than they are better. But clearly, the Formula One is the first motorsport in the world, and we are very proud to be the second.
Very proud. Well, and just, piggybacking off of that, Formula One had Drive to Survive on Netflix, and then MotoGP did MotoGP Unlimited on Amazon. Was that because you saw the success of Drive to Survive, and what impact did that have on the sport?
Well, clearly, Drive to Survive has been a big impact in in some markets. We are starting with our series. And the moment we don't know yet exactly what is the result. We are working in that, but clearly this is one thing we do now, and we will try to do in the future also.
On streaming?
Yes.
What about on social media? How much of an impact does that have?
Well, social media has been very. We start early than practically not any motorsport in the world. We start very early. We have 40 million followers, and we think this is bringing to us the possibility to know exactly what the fans and the people needs. We are very close connection with them. We are slowly thinking but we are leading in many of the areas of the social media, and never is enough, but we will try to continue. This is one of the sources we are working hard to improve.
And as you introduce more electric bikes, how does that affect the show for the people who are watching, as you just mentioned? Is it still just as exciting of a show, you think, as it was prior? I mean, how are things going to change?
Well, from the beginning, we say Dorna is a company who makes races and show the races in the best way we can to arrive to almost 450 million homes. Then when we decided, because it's the way, and we think it's very important to create an electric series, we do it in the way to make real races. Then this is what we do. Today, due to the weight of the battery and the duration of that, we are making races around 8 to 10 laps in different the other races. But this is an experience which has been during the last 4 years with one manufacturer, Nexica. Next year we will start with Ducati, and always in the try to improve the things for the future. Our sports has been always very connection with the industry. That means everything we do, we hope to will be used in the future in the motorcycle industry. Then it's for that we are working together with the industry, trying to have the best things we can.
And on the issue of the manufacturers, recently Suzuki decided to leave the sport at the end of the season. Did that frustrate you? Did you figure out what it was that they were taking issue with?
Well, since we start in the championship, always all the sporting, but especially technical changes has been made in agreement with all the manufacturers. That means it's very important. Not always all the manufacturers has the same idea, and then it's our duty to try to balance the different situations and arrive to a situation where all the technical specifications are good for everybody. Then this has been our duty. We change the rules every 5 years. That means, for example, we are in an area now from 22 to 26, and normally the technical rules, unless for safety issues, we will not change in the middle of the period. But right now, we are already starting to propose things to the manufacturers to see how will be the regulation in 27.
Do you plan to bring in another manufacturer in Suzuki's place?
If it's a real, we are okay with the number of bikes we have. In fact, we have 24 this year. Next year will be 22. Our ideal number is 20. Why? Because we have a limited time of broadcasting television is 45 minutes. We need to show everybody. But if a manufacturer comes, a real manufacturer of bike who want to invest in the championship and to improve and help to development of the technical issues, of course we will.
You would be open to that. Are you concerned that any of the 5 that are still there could potentially raise issues with some of the changes that you just brought up and potentially walk away as well?
Well, we are okay in this moment for that. We think they are happy with the situation, and the moment. Recently Suzuki announced they will not continue next year. We were discussing with them because we have a contract for 5 years with them, but everybody, if they cannot continue, we can accept. But now we receive a lot of demands of other manufacturers, and we are studying how is the program for the new manufacturer, if we cover or not. For sure not next year. Next year we will have five manufacturers and 6 independent teams.
What is your hope for the next season? Because I know now you're on summer break. What's your hope for the sport just going into the fall, into the next season, and its growth potential?
Well, in principle, always our main issue is to be safe. That means to all the improvements we make in the circuits or whatever, to try to continue with the safety of the issues. And second, to try to increase the popularity of MotoGP. One matter also is important to us is to have riders from many nationalities. And for that, we have a program called Talent Promotion, which is improving especially in Asia, young talents. And we have this program in Asia, in Europe, all around the world. And if we reach any young people which is able to be okay, we try to help him to arrive to the first to the Junior World Championship and then to the MotoGP.
And you were mentioning there's satellite teams, so there's big team and there's a lot of momentum within the team to continue to grow as well, right?
Yes. With the team, the relation is very good. We make an agreement with them 4 years ago to try to be more economical, sustainable for them. That means that we are right now, the promoter, Dorna, is the biggest sponsor of all the independent teams. That means we make an agreement with the manufacturers also to provide the bikes in a achievable price. Then the relationship with the teams is crucial for us.
Yeah, and it's the cost to transport the bikes too, right? It's all, there's a lot of sustainability pain points, right, within the sport that have to be addressed.
Well, the thing is to have the temperature of everything we do. That means if we are living, if we have 21 races during the year, it's 21 weekends we are together talking about the different things. And we think we have the temperature of the teams, the championship, the riders, everything could happen. We are able to discuss between us.
You're aware. And when you talk about championship, what's your prediction? One of those are championship bikes out there, correct? The bike that's outside?
Yeah.
What's your prediction? Who's the rider to watch?
I never make any predictions. You know, all the riders are very, very close with us and especially with me. Then I think it's me as CEO of Dorna is predicting something is okay. I wish all the best to all of them and to have a lot of competition. The good thing is right now with the technical issues, we have practically all the manufacturers winning races during this year. And I hope 2 years ago we made 9 different winners in a championship. I hope this year we can arrive to 9 or even more.
Well, and you were saying it's very much a mental sport, right? It comes down to sort of the mind of these riders.
Yes, all the individual sports are many mental, you know. But motorsport especially is something very, very complicated. You know, this is because you are winning a race for until the last lap for 20 seconds, and then you failed and you score 0 points, and the second is 25. Then the mentality, the way you are strong in front of the rest of the people is very important, and it's for that there are people who are winning, and then when they receive the pressure, they are start to win less or whatever. Mentality is something very, very important in all the individual sport, but especially in motorsport more.
Do you think the pressure is on these athletes and these riders today to be out front the way that, I mean, a lot of athletes are these days? Do you see that same trend in MotoGP?
Yes. Then, you know, one thing is MotoGP, we live together during the weekend. Then it's not many sports that you are living with your competitors during Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then these people are watching the other competitors and they see exactly what is the mentality. They know each other. Then this is make MotoGP also special. You know, it's in other competition you are not living with the competitors. In this competition you are not meeting during the race. You are all the weekend there. They go to make a gym or the recovery or to the physio or whatever. Then it is make also MotoGP very special.
So there's a unifying factor is what you're saying?
Yeah.
So let's just talk about sort of the next big announcement for MotoGP. You mentioned the sustainability, the Moto e-bikes. What is the next big announcement that you and your team are working on in terms of the riders and the races?
We are working especially in the sustainability.
Yeah.
And that means we are working very hard. We announced right now the 24 we will go to sustainable fuel. But also we are working in through the calendar to make it more sustainable, the ways that they're making the calendar, making less trips and making the trips more sustainable. Also, we are working very hard with, we have more than 150 trucks in Europe moving. Then if we obtain this sustainability for the trucks will be very, very important. But also the way we trade, we organize together with the promoter every single event can collaborate to have a world more sustainable.
And you have a track here in Qatar as well.
Yeah.
And you'll be back here.
Yes, Qatar has been, we were the first World Championship who came to Qatar. Qatar was the first lighting race in the championship. Next year, Qatar will be not opening the championship because they need to have a lot of work in the circuit. And then just for 1 year, we postponed the first race to the end of the season. But Qatar is a key issue in the championship. We has been many historical things has been here in Losail circuit in Qatar.
Right. We had a question from the audience. It was about Qatar, but also it was about your socks, Carmelo. People were curious, are those bikes on your socks there?
This is bikes, yeah.
Those are bikes. You carry them with you always.
Yeah, exactly.
Carmelo, thank you so much for your time. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks to you. Thank you.